Hey, it's Jared. Welcome to the Dadliest. This is a new podcast and show that I am starting around the conversation of parenting and technology. See, I'm 45 years old. I have 4 children that are in the home, ages 14 and under. And technology is a big part of the conversation in my home. And it's been a challenge as a parent as well. What do I allow my kids to have versus what do I prevent them from having? And what's a healthy amount of technology, time, and all of that stuff? They're conversations that I end up having with a lot of different parents. It is the biggest challenge right now for most parents is moderating technology and the use of it in their home. But many of us as parents don't really understand technology that well. We may have to use it for work. There may be some personal technologies that we've invited into our lives, but most people don't have much of an understanding of it. And technology is changing at such a rapid pace that it's really hard to keep up. We end up hearing about these sensationalized pieces of news that may scare us into some sort of a belief system in regards to certain technologies, or we may see them all as great things and just invite them unfiltered into the lives of our children. There's so many different methods, mindsets, or just maybe blind directions that people are going in. And I don't know the perfect direction myself. I'm trying to navigate this with the goal of having children who become adults, who can make decisions for themselves, who can understand what is beneficial and what's not beneficial, and be able to self-regulate, self-moderate, and just be in control, or at least in better control than I have been, of their own decision making. And that requires understanding how to discern right from wrong, what's good versus what's bad, and personally understanding what they should invite into their lives versus what they know they need to keep out of their lives. And that is a conversation that is unique and specific to our individual children. And personally, as I've had to make those decisions for myself, it is individually different for me than it might be for somebody else. And so just having the conversation more often around technology and talking about the different things that are out there without sensationalizing them, but trying to understand how they're being used, why they're being used, how they're being taken advantage of or maybe used incorrectly, and how and when we should invite these into the lives of our children, or perhaps maybe not at all. This is all conversations that I want to have more often, and I want to be exposed to more opinions so that I could better understand these things myself. And I think that the only way to do that well is to have more conversations around the topic. I'm not the only person talking about this. I know that there's a lot of other great resources out there. I just want to add to that from my own unique perspective. I know that I have maybe beliefs and fundamental ideologies that might be a little bit different than yours, might be different than somebody else's, but we all need to be putting information out there and sharing so that we could pull the best parts of each mindset, of each idea, of each thought, and create our own belief system around that. Now, I just believe that conversations help us understand. We are communal people. We want to have conversations. We want to share. We want to be heard. We want to learn. We want to teach. And all of that is just part of the way that we are wired as human beings. And I find it extremely interesting how we're able to utilize technology for that. I absolutely love watching YouTube videos on topics that I want to know more about and listening to podcasts on interesting topics, reading blogs, taking online courses. All of that has built within me a better understanding of the world around me and the capabilities of all of the different things that are under the sun as well. And so that's what I'm wanting to do here, is have more conversations around topics that are important to people like me who have kids at home, who want to be using technology, but not just so that we can introduce more and more and more into our household, but so that we can do that wisely and grow and raise well-rounded children that understand technology and can use it for what it is, but also are still able to live outside of technology and have personal relationships, be able to hold conversations without a screen in front of them, be able to think without some sort of a tool filtering that for them, and also just be able to entertain themselves without a screen or something in front of them. I think that that's going to be one of the biggest challenges for the younger Gen Z, Gen Alpha, like these next generations as they become adults. They are going to just really have challenges with being able to exist in the world without some sort of input. It's going to be much more challenging for them to put stuff out there unless it feeds the engine of entertainment and the noise that we are all becoming so much more of a consumer of. I know for me, I'm constantly battling with my social media algorithms between wanting good content that is informational, that is inspirational, that teaches me and educates me, whereas the algorithm constantly is wanting to push me towards content that it knows is going to keep me around longer and maybe even addict me and send me down additional rabbit holes that I didn't necessarily want to be on. And as the technology gets smarter and the social media and AI has the ability to think faster, no emotions, and can sway our thinking and our minds, we have to become smarter and smarter individuals. And our children are being raised with all of those challenges while their brains are still developing, which is a whole nother topic of conversation and things that we have yet to see the problems that are generated by a developing mind that is constantly met with stimulation and what that produces as that young person becomes an adult. And I know for me, I already see it in my children, and I know that you probably see it in your children as well, how they act after they've had too much screen time. You know, there is a sense of withdrawal that's taking place. There are things that we see, but we just don't know what to do with that information yet because it's so new. I know for me as a parent, but it's also just new in psychology and brain development. It's all new information. And so I want to continuously have these conversations and talk about it to normalize the idea that we're living in this world where there are these technologies, and these technologies are going to become more and more a part of our world. And I want children that grow into adults who can understand where this technology fits into their life and understand when it's okay to utilize them, and also know and be able to discern when they shouldn't invite that or maybe need to take a break from that sort of technology because they see it affecting them in a certain way. I want my children to be proactive and not reactive. And I also want them to be self-aware and have enough self-knowledge to know right from wrong and how that is a personal decision for themselves. So with all that to say, a lot of conversations I'm going to be having around these different topics. A lot of videos are going to be like this. I might take a topic and find some research on it and try to chew through it and understand what that means for me as a father and for my kids that are growing up in this age. I might look at specific types of technology and how it can be used to better and improve and educate and inform. And then I may also look at some technologies and say, I just don't know how we can safely engage in those sorts of technologies. And I'll also talk about general protections and safeguards and different things that we can utilize in the home to assist us in guarding our kids' hearts and minds from seeing and experiencing things that we know would be harmful to them or that perhaps they're not ready to see or experience. So if you want to be along for that ride, you will want to hit the subscribe button and follow along as I start to generate more information in this direction. You can also go to dadliest.com, which if you're watching on YouTube is linked below. It's also linked in the show notes of the podcast. You could put in your email and I'll make sure to send you out updates when I have a new blog article or a new video or something like that. I'm also looking for feedback because I want to understand your experience as well. And so you can hit the contact form at the website and send me a message and let me know what are some of the challenges that you're facing in the home right now as far as technology. Maybe it's more personal with you, what challenges you're facing with technology. I know that over time I will share more of my challenges and the different things that I've had to navigate through my adult life and what I'm doing now to safeguard and care for myself also, because I'm an adult. I'm not immune to the challenges of technology, and I just want to make sure that I understand and can do these for myself, because if I'm not understanding them and doing them for myself, I'm not going to be able to help my children understand and teach them how to do that for themselves. So it's a journey that I'm on personally for myself, but it's also part of the journey of being able to pass on that knowledge and understanding to my children so that they don't take all of the same lumps that I did. So if you want to be along on that journey and be a part of that with me, be a part of this conversation, subscribe, go over to the website, subscribe there and shoot me over an email and let's just talk about it. That's what's going to help us in this parenting journey together, is just to have discussions and talk about it together. I'm excited for the future of what's to come here. Thank you so much for watching to the end, and I hope to see you back soon. Take care.